everybody. It is a Wednesday, November 19th already, and it is Supernatural News and Parashare right here on the Best in Paranormal Podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis, and I need a co-hostess. So what I do is I reach out to the great state of Michigan, the home of the Tigers, the Lions, and the Bears. Oh my, no, wait, the Bears are Chicago. I forgot. They're in first place in the NFC North, aren't they? Yeah, that's right. Where I reach out to our very own, she's a number one in our book. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. I'm doing very well. Having a good day. I'm a little bummed. Although, you know, this is pretty late in the year for my little Spuddy to still be awake, but I believe she's still.
Wow.
I know. I think she's still awake. I went out today. I know it's the 19th already, right? But I went out there today and I thought for sure, because we had what is it? It's 42 degrees outside, so it's pretty chilly. Mm-hmm. And we had just a little dusting of snow today. Mm-hmm. So I thought for sure that she has to be down for the count. She's probably, gone into torpor. She probably went sleepy.
Mm-hmm. All snuggled in that bed that you made for her.
I do have a little bed for her, a little pink, which I got at Target Boutique. A little bunk bed. I don't expect her to stay the winter in that. I expect her to go down into her den, but I'd be pleasantly surprised if she did spend the winter in that little bed. But no, she cleaned out two dishes of peanuts and a dish of almonds. She's still awake. I don't know what to think of this winter.
I thought it was supposed to be harsh this year.
It is.
Like a lot worse.
Yeah. But I don't know what the deal is. Maybe because she didn't show up till June, she feels like she owes me more time.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Are you guilting her?
I'm trying not to. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because I keep providing her with really tasty treats. Maybe if I stop, she'll go to bed. Maybe it's like when you give a little kid treats and they're like, I got to stay up. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But either way, I think it's a codependent situation now. Neither one will let the other one rest. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just going to keep giving her treats till she goes to bed. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, does it? It's not. I don't know. You can
there's a codependency going on there.
Yeah, you can send your complaints to the ASPCA and report me.
Animal endangerment.
Yeah, animal endangerment, because evidently I'm a codependent chipmunk poppy. Actually, that'd make a great t-shirt. Codependent chipmunk poppy.
Jeez Louise.
I'm going to have it made.
There you go.
How are things on your end?
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Things are going very well.
Very good.
Just keeping busy. I can't believe how we're already halfway through this month, because I was looking at my calendar. We already have our tree lighting ceremony for the end of this week for my town.
Really?
Yes, on Friday. And then we have our Christmas parade on Saturday.
Christmas parade already?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think I just went into a new level of puberty.
Christmas, like someone cut off your balls.
Christmas parade already? I did learn from the Drew Barrymore show that Botox in your balls is a new thing for men.
Get out.
Serious. I don't know why I had to learn that from Drew Barrymore, but I did.
Yeah, now I'm picturing wrinkly balls like walnuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd. I'm sorry. Christmas tree lighting already?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Very weird. There's a lot more being done now before Thanksgiving to get to Christmas. Mm-hmm. Like, my neighbor that's kitty corner from me, she had lights up about 5 days ago. And earlier and earlier now, it seems like people can't wait for Halloween to get over so they can get their Christmas stuff up.
It usually takes me about a week into November to take down our Halloween stuff. Yeah.
I slowly. It took me about a week too. It took me about a week to get the Halloween stuff off the porch. The neighbors were looking at me funny, but it took me about a week to take the Halloween stuff down. Mm-hmm. I very reluctantly took that down. I did have a little, I still have it up. It's a little, you can get like a little goat skeleton. It's like a little baby goat skeleton. And I have it.
Does it scream?
No, it doesn't scream. I wish it did.
Because there's one that screams.
Tell me where I want it.
We got it from, because we have it. Where did we get it from? I think we just got it from like Michael's or something years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I want it.
It freaks the hell out of me when I hear it.
I tell you why I want one.
Okay.
Can I tell you why I want one? Mm-mm. Everyone's going to think I'm an asshole. You ready? This is why I want one. Okay, so the reason why I have the goat is because we have a little thing called Chip's Nut Hut, which sits out on the front porch step.
Okay.
And I keep the sunflower seeds or a dish of sunflower seeds out on this front porch step because you can look out the front door and you can see whether it be squirrels or chipmunks or birds or whatever they eat out of this little dish. Mm-hmm. Well, there's one raccoon that comes out at night and finishes up the remainder of the seeds.
Okay.
But he gets really greedy, right? And he'll chew up and spit out all the seeds. Like he doesn't really finish them. He just chews them up and wastes them. Uh-huh. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to get one of them screaming goats.
Oh, Jesus.
So when he comes
the sensor kind, so when it gets near it?
Yeah, so you go, because he knocks the goat over on purpose. Now, keep in mind, the goat is standing on top of this, and it's an old, what it is, the nut hut is an old Barbie horse den.
Okay.
Or a horse barn. But it's wood. It's like wooden. It's like one of the old ones, right? That you get at you go to the Salvation Army, and it probably stands about 2.5 feet tall. Right. Mm-hmm. So he's got to jump up on top of the nut hut and knock this goat over when he sees it. Mm-hmm. So he's getting mean with the goat, or he stands up and he paws it and knocks it over because it's stand and watch over the seeds. So my whole thing is I want one that screams back at him.
Oh,
I mean, just a little friendly fire. Mm-hmm. Is that mean of me?
It's not mean, but I think that have you ever watched those videos of the raccoons, how they wash their food?
No.
Oh, it's so cute. There's a woman that feeds raccoons, it's a family. Mm-hmm. And she talks about how she's the babysitter and how they're lazy and stuff. And they just drop the kids off and then they disappear like the parents do. But anyway, it's very cute. But yeah, some of them are so cute. They're just bottom heavy and everything. And they're just lazy. They'll sit there and lay by the water and just pick up a grape and just kind of dip it in the water. And they just feed themselves. It's funny. I'm sure they're annoying to some people, but I find them very cute.
I caught one in the birdhouse the other night, just helping himself to peanuts. I was like, "What are you doing? Get out of there!" And he didn't even get alarmed and run. He just was like, "Oh, jeez," and he slowly got out of there.
Yeah, those trash pandas are used to humans now. They do not. Yeah, they don't scare easily.
No, he was just like, "Oh, jeez, are you kidding? All right, fine." I kind of imagine he had an Archie Bunker voice, "Yeah, jeez, all right, whatever, I'll get out of here, whatever."
Slowly waddles away.
Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. I'll go find something else to eat. Right. Just okay, fine. If I gotta, I gotta. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's what's new on this side of the world. But we should probably get to our story, shouldn't we?
Probably.
Lots of big news this week. We'll talk 3-Eye Atlas, who is also a growing boy, and we'll talk about that. It's still not an alien, folks. I hate to tell you kids that. Marco Rubio is talking about whistleblowers. We'll talk about that as well. We've got some cases of some alien abductees and contactees. We're not heavy on the alien stuff today, I'll tell you that much. But we will talk. We have some. Oh, by the way, just in time for the Christmas season, Mallie.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Just in time for the Christmas season, we'll talk about naughty AI toys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. This would be a fun little segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to my cousin over there at the Vatican, Jesus did not appear on a French hillside. We'll talk about that. The Conjuring House. There's a whole new drama around that now. Evidently, we know the name of the person who bought the mortgage. We'll talk about that today. And maybe we'll do a little speculating. Because I have
the conspiracy theory.
Well, I won't go completely into the theory. You and I talk behind the scenes about it, but
yeah,
I want to throw a few theories out there and let our audience speculate.
Okay.
Yeah. Kyrgyzstan's Atlantis is discovered submerged beneath Lake Issyk-Kul.
Where's that at?
I don't know, but I don't go swimming in it.
Beats me.
Yeah, we'll find out sometime today where exactly that is. And I believe for our palate cleanser today, believe it or not, the beaver is back in Scotland, baby. The men don't have to wear the skirts anymore. All that and much more today. And we do have one of your Parashares today. Yes, we do. Parashare
Very
is back.
nice.
Yep. So we have a Parashare as well today. But first, Mallie, let's talk Three-Eye Atlas and the fact that it's a growing boy. It's a grower, not a shower. Interstellar comet Three-Eye Atlas's tail is still growing according to a new image. So I don't think it's an alien.
Yeah. Sorry, people.
Yeah. Interstellar comet Three-Eye Atlas's exhibits a bright, extended ion tail while releasing gas and dust as it travels through the inner solar system. This, according to a new article. A stunning new image of interstellar comet Three-Eye Atlas and C2025 N1 Atlas reveals the cosmic visitor's ion tail has grown dramatically longer and more structured, which is a sign of intensifying activity as it continues its journey through the inner solar system. The image, captured by the Virtual Telescope Project at 11:31 p.m. Eastern Time on November 10th, is composed of 18 separate 120-second exposures remotely taken by robotic telescopes located in Menciano, Italy. Despite the comet being just 14 degrees above the eastern horizon, and a bright 61% moon shining about 70 degrees away, a sharply defined luminous ion tail is seen. Exploiting the unusual good weather of this season, we image the interstellar comet Three-Eye Atlas, or C2025 N1 Atlas again, recording a much more developed ion tail. Gianluca Massi, who is the Virtual Telescope Project founder and astronomer, said in a post sharing the new image. Looking at the picture, we see how the ion tail of Three-Eye Atlas is clearly showing better and better, he went on to say. An ion tail forms when the sun's ultraviolet radiation strips electrons from gas molecules released by the comet, turning them into charged ions. The ions are then swept away by the solar wind, a constant stream of charged particles flowing outward from the sun, which creates a long, often bluish tail that always points directly away from the sun, regardless of the comet's direction of travel. The tail differs from the dust trail, which tends to appear yellowish white and curves gently along the comet's orbital path. In the new image, the comet's bright core is surrounded by a compact coma. It looks like coma. And it's COMA. It looks like coma. And a sharply defined ion tail stretching roughly 0.7 degrees across the sky. A faint anti-tail, a feature which is caused by the observer's perspective as dust trails along the comet's orbit, can also be seen extending in the opposite direction. The image shows a clear increase in activity compared to earlier observations, suggesting that Three-Eye Atlas is venting gas and dust more vigorously as it reacts to solar heating. Now, Three-Eye Atlas is only the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected, following Oumuamua in 2017, still my favorite comet to ever talk about, and Two-Eye Borisov in 2019. Now, unlike its predecessors, this visitor from another solar system is bright enough to be studied in detail by ground-based telescopes, offering astronomers a rare opportunity to observe how an interstellar comet behaves under the influence of our sun. Let me show you here real quick, Mallie, what this thing looks like as it got taken 120 exposures of it. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I'll post this in the description of the program so you can get a look at this supposed alien that's flying around. Mm-hmm. But no, it's a comet.
Hey, off topic. Did you see the meteorite shower the other night?
I didn't, but I did see the Northern Lights.
Yes.
I got pictures.
Oh, you took pictures?
I did, yeah. Yeah. In fact, let me see if I can pull one up here for you. But yeah, no, I didn't see the meteor shower. Did you?
No, I didn't. But I saw the Northern Lights as well.
Yeah. How were they? How did they look from? Actually, I caught them on 2 different nights. The second night I caught them, they weren't as prevalent. But the first night I caught them, boy, did I catch some amazing colors. In fact, here I'll show you. I'll show you one picture I caught here. This is.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
If those of you who are watching on video, you'll see the first night that I caught them, which was amazing. But the second night, I'll show you the second night I caught them. Not as spectacular, but the second night I caught them. Let's see, I'll try to get the best one here. This is probably the best one. It was less of a pinkish.
Okay. Yeah. Not as much pink.
Yeah. But it was still pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And you know what? That's probably the most, probably the brightest I've ever seen the Northern Lights, especially here in the Twin Cities area. You don't typically see them here.
Yeah. It's harder. Yeah. It's definitely harder when you're in the city.
With light pollution and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was a treat, I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. It was fun to watch, and to be able just to step outside your door and have it be right there. I mean, it was amazing. And the ones that were really bright there that first night, I mean, you could see it with the naked eye. Normally, you've got to pull out the camera and you've got to see it. But I mean, you could see them with the naked eye, and it was really astounding. I'd never seen anything like that. Yeah, and. I mean, just something to behold. I know there was someone who was posting something online saying this isn't necessarily a good thing, people, and went into some sort of doomsday scenario about solar flares and how the Earth could be coming to an end. Not coming to an end, but the scenario is this, that if solar flares could shoot out that far, wrap around the Earth, it could also strip away our magnetosphere, which could also... do such things as cause an EMP flare or electromagnetic pulse and could wipe out our phone service. It could wipe out all of our, basically anything that works on an electromagnetic pulse, right? It could basically wipe out all our electronics. It could wipe out our electrical grid. We could basically get sent back into the Stone Age and we wouldn't know what to do. And basically all hell would break loose. So this person was contending that, you know, we could basically be sent back into the Stone Age and the worst of humanity would come out. My whole thing was settle down, pal. You know, I think we're going to be okay. But, you know, no more internet connection, no more messenger, no more this, no more that. I don't think we need our pacifiers that much. I think we're going to be all right, you know. But yeah, but this person was just livid that we had Northern Lights that night.
No.
I wanted to go up and give him a hug, but you know, you can't do that over the internet. So, our next story, Mallie, has to do with Marco Rubio talking about UFO whistleblowers. The headline here is "Why Make Something Up?" And this is what the U.S. Secretary of State is saying. He's adamant that the UFO phenomenon deserves to be taken a lot more seriously. Rubio, who is one of the more prominent figures appearing in Dan Farah's new Age of Disclosure documentary, recently spoke to News Nation's Joe Khalil about the topic of UFOs. Things are flying over sensitive, restricted airspace in the U.S., and they claim it's not ours, he said. That alone is reason to look into this stuff. My biggest fear is, in all this, he went on to say, frankly, is that some adversary has made a technological leap. That would be really bad news, Rubio went on to say, and we would be caught flat-footed on it. Rubio also touched upon the subject of UFO whistleblowers such as David Grush, who had controversially claimed that the U.S. government has been involved in a multi-decade program to recover and attempt to reverse engineer crashed UFOs or UAPs. He had also claimed that non-human biologics had been found at some of the crash sites. One of the two things here are true, said Rubio. Either what he is saying is true or partially true, or we have some really smart, educated people with high clearances and very important positions in our government who are crazy and leading us on a goose chase. Let's hope that's not the situation.
Right.
Either one is a problem, Rubio went on to say. Overall, he argues it is difficult to assess credibility due to the stigma attached to the subject. What incentive would people with those qualifications have? These are very serious people. To come forward and make something up, he asked. He does make a good point, but then perhaps it's possible that individuals like Grush are basing their claims on rumors that they believe to be true, even if they aren't. Ultimately, without full disclosure, we may never know for sure what is true and what isn't. My whole point is, I don't think someone who's putting their life and reputation out on a limb like that is necessarily doing it on a lark, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Pardon me, I had to take a sip there. My whole thing is I think that if they're coming forward, they actually have some information that they, at least some credible information that they have to put out into the public forum. Now, are there some individuals that maybe put that stuff out there because there's a mental illness involved there? Possibly. But, and we, sometimes we don't necessarily vet the best when it comes to some of those individuals. But I don't think necessarily all of them are that way. I think there is, we have some very credible witnesses. You have some witnesses that are in the armed forces. You have some police officers, some firefighters that have seen this stuff who are very credible. And I don't think we turn a blind eye to them, right? So there you go. SETI's Noah's Ark, the Soviet Union's oft-forgotten search for aliens, is our next topic. Back during the Cold War, the USSR was involved in the search for signals sent by intelligent alien civilizations. There is a person by the name of Gabriela Radulescu who has an article out basically saying that as humans begin to explore outer space in the latter half of the 20th century, radio waves proved to be a powerful tool. Scientists could send out radio waves to communicate with satellites, rockets, and other spacecraft, and use radio telescopes to take in radio waves emitted by objects throughout the universe. However, sometimes radio telescopes would pick up the artificial radio signals from telecommunications. This interference threatened sensitive astronomy observations, causing inaccurate data and even damaging equipment. While this interference frustrated scientists, it also sparked an idea. During the Cold War, a new field emerged at the intersection of radio astronomy and radio communications. It put forward the idea that astronomers could search for radio communications from possibly existing extraterrestrial civilizations. Astronomy usually dealt with observing the universe's natural phenomena, but this new field made the detection of technologically or artificially produced radio waves the object of a natural science. This field has continued today and is now called the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI. SETI encompasses all that scientists do to search for intelligence and intelligent life beyond Earth. It includes one of the original uses of radio telescopes to study signals from across the galaxy in hopes of detecting intelligent messages. When the idea behind SETI was first proposed and pursued in the 1960s, only two countries, the U.S. and the USSR, had the technical capability for it. As the only space powers at the time, they were the key factors affected by radio frequency interference. As a historian of science, it turns out that Gabriela worked to make sense of what happened throughout the history of Soviet SETI during the space race by analyzing a range of primary sources. SETI captured the scientific imagination of many prominent Soviet astronomers in the 1960s and early 1970s. Astronomers have yet confirmed any detection of radio signals or any other kinds of signs from extraterrestrial civilizations, but many scientists are still searching. Even as their bold ideas run into obstacles, some evidence suggests that humans might be the only intelligent life in the universe. Now, SETI is intertwined with the profound changes brought by radio astronomy. Up until the second part of the 20th century, scientists could see astronomical objects and phenomena only in optical or visible light. Optical light is the same kind of light that the human eye is sensitive to. Now, after World War II, scientists figured out that they could peacefully use radar antennas developed for use in that war to detect radio signals coming from objects out in the universe. Deciphering these signals allowed researchers to study astronomical objects in the universe. They learned, for example, about the most abundant element, which was hydrogen. In the former Soviet Union, the prominent radio astronomy pioneer Yosef Samuilovich, he has a third name, Mallie, which is Shklovsky.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Jones.
Yeah, Jones.
Something easy.
Yes, Jones. Played a key role in detecting radio signals from hydrogen. Scientists knew that every chemical element would absorb certain wavelengths of light and reflect others, and the light signals that an object absorbed or reflected could tell astronomers what element it was. Most hydrogen could not be observed directly in optical light, so astronomers didn't spot it out in space until they started looking beyond the visible light spectrum. Shklovsky, which, by the way, I love their sandwiches. I don't know if you ever went to the one in Edina, but it was...
I totally thought that. When you said that, I was like, ooh, sandwiches.
No, that was Shklovsky's, not Shklovsky's.
I know, but I was like, oh, yeah. Sandwiches.
Yeah. I miss Shklovsky. You know, Shklovsky's isn't open anymore.
Like the whole chain, or just
no, just the one in Edina.
Oh,
yeah. I miss that place though. It was really good. Now I'm in the mood for a good deli sandwich.
I know, they're so good.
Yeah. Shklovsky figured out how to detect hydrogen with radio waves, which helped astronomers map the distribution and motion of hydrogen gas in and between galaxies. Historians generally consider the year 1960 the start of the golden age of radio astronomy. I remember when they played all those programs on SETI satellites. Oh, it was so good. After the detection of hydrogen, astronomers discovered previously unknown types of stars, such as pulsars and quasars. The phenomena offered scientists new insights into the nature of astrophysical phenomena and fundamental physics. Shklovsky later grew fascinated with the possibility of using radio waves to contact other intelligent beings in the universe. In 1960, he published an article on this topic in one of the country's most prestigious scientific journals. Shklovsky's article soon expanded into a widely popular book called Universe, Life, Intelligence, published in 1962. That same year, the USSR's Academy of Sciences sent its first radio message in the direction of Venus from a radar in Crimea. You want to know what that program was called? It's called Crimea River.
Did you just come up with that, or had you practiced that joke?
No, I came up with it just now.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Clever.
Thank you. It was bad. The experiment involved bouncing radio signals off the surface of Venus to transmit the following words using Morse code: Lenin, USSR, and Mir, such as the Mir space station, which in Russian meant both world and peace. Even though statistically increasing radio interference risk, this message was mainly symbolic. The Soviet Union wanted to depict its technological might and wasn't expecting to communicate with extraterrestrials. Soviet SETI was thus not yet a real pursuit. Skipping ahead a little bit, SETI was the first and only domain of astronomy to study artificial radio signals itself. It directly addressed radio frequency interference during a time when these frequencies were highly unregulated. Stakeholder countries eventually addressed the radio frequency interference issues with international agreements on radio frequency usage and allocation. An international committee approved a feasible and comprehensive radio frequency allocation program and plan for the first time in the 1970s. The plan has been revised and renewed ever since. Today, space scientists and astronomers use an internationally agreed upon plan to minimize any interference. Remarkably, SETI began even before this allocation plan. SETI continues its rich legacy today by continuing to search for signals and along the way, discovering new astrophysical objects and phenomena. I think a lot of people assume when they hear SETI, you think of the big satellite dishes. Oh gosh, my shoulder just popped when I did that.
Ooh.
I'm getting old, but you think of the big satellite dishes, or you think of the beginning of In Search Of that shows the big satellite dishes, in the sky, and you think that, SETI had the ultimate communication with extraterrestrials, and you think that we're sending signals and we're getting stuff back, and that it was this big communication device. But ultimately, it was us sending a lot of radio waves up into space, not knowing that, even if aliens communicated with radio waves or RF radiation, right? We were just kind of taking a shot in the dark to see if maybe something communicated on that frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that movie with Jodie Foster where she had that big, the big thing that you were just talking about?
Yeah. That was, oh gosh.
Where they were sending signals and then finally they got something back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Hold on. I will pull it up here. It was, you can do the Jeopardy theme as I do this. Contact.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So
that was the movie. People at home were screaming on their listening device.
Contact! You idiots! It's Contact.
How come you people can't watch a movie and remember it? Yeah.
Mallie, you never remember the name of things. You always describe it, but you never remember.
I sit here and I scream at my device all the time. How come you can't remember a movie?
Get with it. You name everything else but the name. But the title.
It's Contact.
Contact, I tell you. Contact. Hey, have you ever heard like the recordings of space?
Yes. Have you? Yeah.
Isn't it creepy? It's like unnerving.
Well, we've played some here on the show.
Yeah, I know, but it's just unnerving.
Yeah.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
But just think if you were an astronaut that goes up into space and you have to listen that way to try to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Imagine being up there and having to, you got your little teddy bear and your nightlight and you're trying to go to sleep and you hear, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's just unnerving.
Hey, it takes all kinds.
I know.
I think I could sleep pretty soundly. I'm one of those types that, when I'm tired, I just crash out. Nothing's going to keep me awake. So eventually I get to that.
Insomnia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, no, I get to the point where I've had enough and I just crash out. I'm done. But see, I also have chronic pain. So, I'll get up like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a night. And when I'm up, I'm up. So, yeah, it takes me a while to get back to sleep. So, yeah. So I do little things like my grandpa had a trick where he would eat a Tootsie Roll, like a little Tootsie Roll. They called them midgies. I think they still do, which is really politically incorrect. But yeah, like a little tiny Tootsie Roll, like throw one in his mouth, and it's a mnemonic trigger, right? Throw one in your mouth and you think you feel better.
Those make me drool.
They make everybody drool. By the way, never fall asleep with one in your mouth. Your pillow becomes a mess. I woke up once with like my
brown drool.
Yeah, like I had a brown streak all the way back to my ear once, and it all over the side of my pillow. It looked like I shat myself out of my mouth. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, but yeah, never fall asleep with one in your mouth. It's terrible. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah,
look, kids, look what I can do.
Yeah, look what I can do.
I can shit out of my mouth.
That's a South Park episode, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you shit out of your mouth. Yeah. But yeah, it's but but when I'm out, boy, I'm done. Yeah. So I just learned that when you fall asleep, you got to go to sleep, right? You got to do it. So
gotcha.
You just got to make yourself pass out. That didn't sound right, I know.
No, it did not.
It's a handy feature. Yeah. And when you got to get away, you just got to gnaw your arm off. I don't know what that means either, but
yeah,
we'll just pretend we didn't hear that. Anywho, let's just get to our next story, shall we? There was some unbelievable footage from a Canadian cargo ship, which sparked major UFO sighting frenzies this week. Canadian cargo ships. You're a big fan of the Canadians, right?
You know what? There was just one person that I disliked.
Just one, right?
Just one.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I looped her into the whole country.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but now, you know, time has passed.
You've made peace, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, you made peace. You love our Canadian
I've made
neighbors.
peace, yes. Yeah. It took me 18 years, but I'm good now.
Now you're a big fan of maple syrup and back bacon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. I love my Canadians.
That's right.
Except,
except what?
I don't love her.
Oh, you don't love her. Well, no. But God says to love.
Yeah.
Go with Timmy Hortons.
I do love most Canadians. Yeah. And I can see them from where I live.
Yeah, you can see them from your back porch. What?
No, well, I go to my front porch and I can see Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yay, Timmy Hortons, right? Give me a yay, Timmy Hortons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know where this is going either. A Canadian cargo ship footage sparks a UFO frenzy with a mysterious object seen hovering and speeding into the night sky. Unbelievable footage captured by a Canadian cargo ship has ignited that frenzy. Late last week, seafarers aboard a Canadian registered freight vessel filmed what they described as an otherworldly object hovering silently above the deck and then shooting away at an incredible speed, according to the post on X by World News X. The clip was captioned UFO sighting. A cargo ship camera captures unbelievable footage in Canada. The ripple reaction among social media users and UFO watchers was immediate. Although the original video remains unverified, comments from early watchers say the object appeared as bright metallic disc that hovered above the vessel's light mast for several seconds before climbing vertically into the night sky. One viewer wrote, "What is that? Pretty scary. It's so close to home. Yikes." The unusual behavior, hovering, silent operation, rapid ascent, aligns with many classic UFO reports. Now, Canada has a storied history of unexplained aerial phenomena. For instance, in the acclaimed case of the Shag Harbor UFO incident, and no, there wasn't naughty stuff going on at Shag Harbor. I don't care what you say there, Mel. Multiple witnesses report a large object plunging into the waters off Nova Scotia. That incident remains one of the country's most thoroughly documented. More recently, skywatchers across Canada and the U.S. were baffled by a spiral of white light moving across the evening sky. According to the Weather Network, a mysterious-looking spiral moved across the evening sky in parts of Canada and the U.S., grabbing a lot of people's attention in the process. That event, it turned out, was caused by a spent rocket stage dumping fuel. Yet it shows how easily the public can interpret strange lights as extraterrestrial. Despite the excitement, experts caution that many of these sightings have prosaic explanations. In the spiral light case, it was ruled man-made. Although it looked otherworldly, it was actually man-made. It was Europe's Ariane 6 rocket. Europe has a space agency? A United
I did not
one?
know that.
I didn't know that either. Meanwhile, according to a broader summary of UFO phenomena, more than 95% of all UFO sightings can easily be dismissed as military aircraft, stars, planets, meteors, flares, weather balloons, and man-made hoaxes. As for the cargo ship clip, cargo vessels often carry camera systems designed for safety and navigation, reflections, drones, or even atypical aircraft. Many of them may be misinterpreted. Investigative bodies may now begin by verifying the timestamp, GPS coordinates, and ship log of the vessel in question. Naval and civilian radar logs will be crucial, especially since in prior Canadian incidents, official comment often acknowledged no known aircraft in the area. For example, during the Shag Harbor incident, an official memo stated it has been determined that this UFO sighting was not caused by a flare float, aircraft, or, in fact, any known object. Meanwhile, curious watchers should remain cautious. While the clip is compelling, it remains unverified and could yet be explained by conventional phenomena. So why does this all matter? Well, beyond the spectacle, this event touches on deeper themes, how modern technology proves ubiquitous vantage points, such as ship cams, drones, and social media, how shipping and ocean infrastructure expand our observational domain, and how genuine unknowns still exist in our skies. Whether the object captured by the cargo ship was extraterrestrial, military, a drone, or an optical illusion, the incident underscores that we live in an era where even remote ocean routes are part of a global stage for unusual aerial sightings. As investigations proceed, one question remains: will the professionals find a terrestrial explanation, or will this clip become yet another unexplained chapter in Canada's UFO legacy? I tell you what I'll do. I'll put this one in the description of the program as well, so you can watch the video and you can decide for yourself whether this is simply military, if it's got another explanation, or if it truly is a UFO.
Cool.
All right. We got some bonkers cases of alien abductees and contactees here, Mal. On the program tomorrow, we'll have Darcy Weir in. He's a filmmaker who has a new movie on Amazon Prime called The Psychic Phenomena. And in that, he'll be talking about remote viewing, and he'll be talking about how the psychic phenomena kind of lines up with abductees, and how it lines up with the alien phenomena as well. And actually some of the remote viewing phenomena in the 60s and 70s, and how they actually did some remote viewing on alien civilizations.
Oh, okay.
Which is a little freaky. I mean, it's a little disturbing. One aspect of the UFO phenomenon has been going on for quite some time, and it's that of alien abductions. Now, these are the times when people are taken willingly or not and whisked off to the unknown, then coming back with some very strange stories to tell. Some of these are even weirder than others, and here in this article, they look at some of the more bizarre alien abduction cases that there are. I'm going to give you an example of one or two. I'll post the rest of them in the description of this program so you can read all of them. It's a longer article, so we'll give you just a taste here, and then you can go read for yourself if you're interested in more. Such accounts can fall in many places at the range of the weird, but one of the weirdest is that of a South African woman who claims to not only have been spirited away to an alien planet, but also to have had an alien lover and a child. Here's a story of abductions, alien motherships, exotic new worlds, star-crossed lovers, and all of the utter bizarreness that all implies. Looking at her life before all the strangeness started, one would have never accused Elizabeth Clarer of being particularly unusual, crazy, or unhinged. She was actually very respectable. Born in South Africa in 1910, Clarer studied music and meteorology in England before serving as an accomplished pilot for the Royal Air Force and working for the South African Air Force Intelligence. She was decoding secret German transmissions. It would not be until after the war, when in 1950, she read a book on UFOs and began to have long-buried memories come floating back to the surface from her childhood. She recalled that when she was 7 years old, she and her sister had seen a luminous silver disc fly over their farm, as well as a bright orange, red, and cratered planetoid that flew past high in the sky. She would remember having several other sightings of the disc over the years and claimed that her sister and their Zulu farmhand had also seen it. This is all strange enough as it is, But it would get utterly bizarre in the mid-1950s when she had an experience that would kick off one of the weirdest cases of alien abduction on record. These early memories coming back to her caused Claire to develop a deep interest in UFOs. And this would get even stronger when a series of UFO sightings from 1954 brought her in to investigate a remote rural hill outside of Johannesburg. According to the native Zulu people of the area, the UFO was actually a mythical lightning bird from their lore. But when Claire arrived, she would have an encounter with what was most definitely a spacecraft, appearing as a spinning disc with a stationary dome at its center. The craft emitted a humming noise, and she claimed to have seen one of the craft's occupants through a portal. She tried to get a closer look, but claimed that she had been pushed away by a wave of heat pouring off of it. Claire would claim that she then began having telepathic communications with an entity calling itself Akon, like the singer, A-K-O-N, Akon.
I just thought that.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. That's bizarre. Who said he was from the planet Meton, or M-E-T-O-N, in the galactic region of Alpha Centauri, and also that he was a crew member and a scientist aboard the spacecraft, as well as that he was, in fact, the being she had seen through the porthole. Claire would become obsessed with it all, going back to the hill several times in the hopes that of seeing that ship and Akon again. All she had to do was listen to a Snoop Dogg CD. I think he guessed it a few times on one of those. Mm-hmm. In 1956, she would get her chance when she once again saw the craft descend at the hill. This time was very different, as Akon revealed himself to Claire and introduced her to his companion, Snoop Dogg. No, I'm kidding. And the companion was described as the ship's botanist. Again, Snoop Dogg, botanist. See? And astrophysicist. The aliens then invited her aboard the ship, which they described as merely a scout ship, and brought her up to a much larger cigar-shaped mothership that was reportedly 5 miles in length and included cities, parks, and trees, flowers, and even lakes within it. According to Claire, she spent some time on this vast mothership, meeting the inhabitants of this city ship, which she said looked like just like humans, but taller, better looking, more considerate and gentle, not aggressive and violent. She also learned they were actually originally from the planet Venus and had relocated to Meton eons ago after Venus had become uninhabitable. And according to them, Venus had long ago been alive with vegetation and was much like Earth, but had gradually become a hostile environment, forcing them into an exodus that had brought them to their new faraway home of Meton. She would say all of this, and this is a quote from her. The Venusian scientists recognized the sun was a visible star with maximum and minimum periods of sunspot cycles, which happens to this day at a certain, but at certain epochs in time it expands. Now the sun is expanding and contracting all the time. It is pulsating like a heart, but at certain epochs it expands but more in intensified radiation. Now this is what happened to Venus, and being closer to the sun, her seas had dried out, but what little fauna remained and all the flora were destroyed. And then, of course, the dinosaurs, which had dominated the Earth, were also destroyed through the intensified radiation. Thus, the great civilization from Venus, which we call the mother planet, was able to get away from Venus and landed on Earth and the moon as way stations. They moved to Meton, which is now the home planet because it is very similar to the mother planet, Venus, in atmospheric conditions, distance from the star, and also, the more important of it all, the higher vibratory rates, which is more compatible to an advanced civilization and consciousness. They had bases on the moon, Mars, and Earth, which they still visit. The Venus people left a station of their civilization here on Earth to look after the planet and advance the mentality and consciousness of the indigenous people of this planet, which they are in the process of doing. I hope you got that straight, because I'm still following it. Claire was then returned to Earth. She had several meetings with Akon, usually at the same hill, and she found herself becoming attracted to him. Oh boy, here we go. She's attracted to a Venusian. During their rendezvous, Akon purportedly gave her a silver ring that enhanced her telepathic connection and told Claire that she was in fact a reincarnated Venusian with whom he had been romantically involved with when Venus was still alive and before they had fled to Meton, which, however you pronounce it, and that they were in fact soulmates. Oh, see, he's getting his freak on. Look at that. See, just a little opening line here, Mallie. That's all it takes. See, get freaky with an alien. Keep that in mind when they come and invade us.
I mean, which would you prefer, getting freaky with an alien or getting freaky with a ghost?
See, a ghost is at least human, but then again, there's the freak factor of the alien.
You know what I mean? If someone said, I mean, would you look at them and go, if they said, like, which one would you believe more so if they told you? You know?
Probably the alien.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, so he gives her the ring. He's like, "Hey, we're soulmates, girl. You know, you was us and we was you and blah, 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 blase, blase, woo, woo. I got you a ring.
Woo, woo, woo. Yep.
We're going to do this, right?" That's as far as
we're going to do this.
We're going to do this.
He sounds romantic. We're going to do this.
Yeah, we're going to do this, girl. We're going to lay this down. You know, let me put on some of this Celestial Berry White. We're going to get busy. So one thing led to another, and according to Claire, they consummated their relationship, leading to her becoming pregnant with Akon's child. It was then that she decided to run off with her alien lover in 1958, and he agreed to take her up to their mothership once again, because, you know, he's a responsible alien. After which she was taken to Meton itself, which she would learn was one of 7 planets their civilization claimed as their own. Oh, see, he could have got away. He could have went to a totally different planet, just left her on one planet.
Be a deadbeat dad.
That's right.
Deadbeat alien.
Deadbeat alien. How's she going to find him, right?
Exactly.
Clara would allegedly stay on Meton for a full 4 months and give birth to their son there. See, it's only 4 months when you're doing it with an alien. It's a 4-month pregnancy and you're done. Whom they named Eiling. As for the planet itself, Clara would describe it in meticulous detail, including its government, educational system, way of life, and even the flora and fauna. According to her, Meton was a utopian society with no war, crime, or poverty, and where everyone had equal access to plentiful food and energy, with no monetary system, and a method for creating unlimited renewable energy. The people wore luxurious clothes fashioned of silk and lived in expansive parks. And since there were no tall buildings or factories, there was no pollution. She explained that all education was done through telepathy and similar means, eliminating the need for school books or physical school buildings. In an interview with researcher Stuart Bush, she would say of Meton, hold on a second. First of all, they got silky clothes and they learn through their minds. There's no pollution. You think they get pimp canes and little pimp hats?
I knew you were going to ask about the pimping.
See, pimping ain't easy, but it's necessary on Meton.
Do you still have that pimp cane?
I do. Yeah, I got my little 8-ball cane. You know who found me that pimp cane?
Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina Weidman. Yeah, there you go.
I remember that.
I got a picture of us with it too.
That was Virginia City, wasn't it?
It was Virginia City. Yeah. Because that's where all good pimp canes come from, is Virginia City.
It's up in the mountain.
Up in the mountains. That's right. Here's what she had to say. She said, "It is similar in size to Earth, a little larger, covered with vast seas, and the lands are islands, not continents. Climate is beautiful, under control, and in fact, it really is a utopia. They have everything they want. They are not only thousands of years ahead technologically from us, but are also spiritually very advanced. There are no politics, law, or monetary system." Very hippie-ish, right? Medicine is a scientific activity and not required for health, since they are all in perfect health. Their way of thinking is very different from what most people over here would understand. They are a loving, gentle, and constructive people. Everyone industriously does their work, which they like doing most. I bet they do. There is no need for law. There's no crime or police. Everyone is free and has a code of ethics. They constantly create beauty around them, and in general, there is complete harmony. Their homes are lovely. You can see them from the inside out. Oh, I don't want nobody looking in my house. Nope. The material is transparent one way. They don't have schools or universities. Our education is completely visual, all done by what is called an electric image. They have a little file about PHIAL, about 3 inches long, that they insert into a niche in their home or the wall of a spaceship. A 3D scene fills the room, an advanced form of a holograph. There are no books. They travel a great deal. The young children are taken around the galaxy, so they learn from experience. They can use the electric image to go back to a former time in their history. They could, for instance, view our planet at the time of the dinosaurs. They have beautiful paintings and create lovely music, harmonic music. I bet it was, especially when they were getting it on, had a little kid, what I'm saying? And very uplifting spiritually, which relate to the harmonic music of the galaxy. They communicate by means of telepathy and educational concepts and get transferred this way. They are capable of thinking in terms of the basic concepts not dependent on language. They perceive the feelingness beyond words, she said. There is no problem in the learning of languages such as any of those on Earth. So they pick up the language very quickly. All in all, it seems like a pretty great place to live, it says here, and Clara would have liked to have stayed there forever. However, the conditions of Meton proved to be too much for her physically. She would explain that the vibrations of the magnetic field were too different on Meton compared to Earth, which weakened her heart and forced her to return to her home world. After a tearful goodbye to Akon and Meton, even leaving her son behind as well in order to complete his education, Clara returned to Earth. There she would sometimes meet with Akon and Eiling and frequently speak with them through holographic calls. According to her, Akon and her son would later embark on a journey across the universe together. She used her experience to preach for a society of peace, love, and environmental understanding, trying to raise awareness of these things and bring the people of Earth to a higher level like her beloved Venusians. In the meantime, when her story came out that she was sort of a celebrity in the UFO community, being interviewed by some of the top researchers in the field at the time, she became extremely popular on the convention circuit. I bet she was. And she was a guest of honor at the 5th International Congress of UFO Research Groups at Wiesbaden in 1975, which was attended by scientists at 22 nations, and where she was given a standing ovation. They were like, "Ew, bravo, bravo, you were impregnated by an alien." To Betty White, excellent. Which was attended by, those scientists. Her story also made news headlines worldwide, where she was unfortunately often the butt of jokes, just like I just did.
Yes.
And ridiculed, although I didn't ridicule her. Yet she adamantly stuck to and defended her surreal story. In addition, Clara went on about writing a book about her experiences, which would eventually be published in 1980 under the title Beyond the Light Barrier. It was this book that she later claimed had drawn the attention of nefarious government parties who intimidated her and tried to silence her. She then began working on a second book called The Gravity File, but her death in 1994 saw it unfinished.
Oh.
Yeah. That's kind of what happened there, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bizarre little story there. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, I'll post the rest of this article because it kind of goes on about some other stories about abductees, but that's kind of the wildest one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think? Would you let yourself get absconded and go to a different world with a little alien freak?
No, I think I'll stay here. Thank you.
You're like, no, nope.
Nope, I'm good.
You wouldn't have no alien baby?
No, alien baby. I'm surprised her son, though, didn't carry on the story. Or if I was her son and my mom kept telling me the story over and over again, I get my blood tested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Why didn't the son come back and avenge mom?
Yeah.
Right? Be like, you people took my mama.
Yep.
Right?
Let's see if I got alien blood.
Yeah, right. But no. Kid was just fine on that world, I guess, on Meton.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, you know what? Things are chill here on Meton. I'm not going to Earth. Y'all freaks can stay there.
Yep.
I got school by my mind. I got peace and love and happiness and freaky ass Barry White. I'm good. And I can get me an Earth woman whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's good. Yeah. It's the rest of y'all that are off. So yeah, little Eiling is good. And his dad is a world famous R&B singer, Akon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to love it. I never knew Akon was an alien. That's what I didn't know.
Mm.
That's what I told.
Well, some people think that singers sell their soul to the devil.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe he didn't. He just was an alien.
Yeah, you got a point there, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
One more story and then we go to break. There's a photo, and I'll show you this crazy photo of this man. It shows this man skydiving through the sun. Look at this.
Oh.
There he goes.
That's weird.
Isn't that a weird photo?
Yeah.
Yeah. This photo it shows a guy seemingly skydiving through the vast backdrop of the sun, but instead of deploying generative AI or any other editing trickery, the photograph behind the once-in-a-lifetime shot has the receipts to prove that it's very much a real photo. Now, Arizona-based amateur astronomer Andrew McCarthy shared the now viral image on Reddit, calling it the most preposterously fake-looking real photo I've ever captured. The gorgeous image, fittingly titled The Fall of Icarus, which you can buy as a print to support McCarthy, shows, quote, my friend transiting an active region on the sun in free fall, he wrote in the caption. Of course, he's not in free fall from the sun. Mm-hmm. In a behind-the-scenes video posted to his Instagram, McCarthy explained how he pulled it off, and here's how he did it. He set up a bunch of telescopes in the desert and instructed his friend, YouTuber and skydiver Gabriel Brown, to leap from an ultralight aircraft positioned perfectly between him and the sun. When the time was right, I told him to jump, McCarthy wrote in the video. Footage shows Brown let go of the aircraft while perfectly silhouetted by the glowing and ominously churning surface of the sun. All the while, McCarthy took a stream of photos in hopes of freezing the motion of his descent. I got it, dude, McCarthy exclaims in the clip. And it's a fitting time to capture the solar surface, it says here. Our star has entered its most active phase of its 11-year cycle, triggering fierce solar storms. This week, it unleashed the strongest solar flare this year so far, causing radio blackouts across Africa and Europe. All the solar activity also makes for a very different but equally stunning photo op, the form of abundant displays of aurora lighting up the night sky as far as Florida, as far south that is as Florida. So you get pictures like this.
That is cool looking, though.
Isn't it, though? It looks like literally he's flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. When we come back, not only do we have a Parashare coming up today, Mel, from one of our listeners. And by the way, if you have a Parashare, you can do it one of three ways. You can send it in the old-fashioned way by email to me at tim@darknessradio.com. You can go to darknessradioshow.com, click on that blue button on the right-hand side, send us a voice note. You got 2 minutes to do so. Or if you have a studio just like the one I'm sitting in here, not my studio, don't come to my studio and do it, but you can send us a video message and we'll air it here on the program. You've got 3 ways to do it. But we have Parashare today to share with you. So we've got a Parashare today, but we've got an AI story. By the way, AI toys. It's the first Christmas, Mallie, that AI toys are available. Now, with that in mind, do you unleash the AI toys on your children, knowing that what we're about to tell you in our next segment? I'll tell you this much. It's not all wine and roses. Not that you give the kids wine for Christmas.
Right.
But, other stories that we'll tell you about. there is a buyer, or is there, of the Conjuring House. The mortgage was sold, not the building and the property, but the mortgage was sold off. We now know who bought the mortgage. We'll tell you who it is after the break. My cousin over there at the Vatican says that Jesus did not appear on a French hillside. We'll tell you why he's saying this and what the possible reasons could be. Also, after the break, Kyrgyzstan's Atlantis is discovered submerged beneath Lake Issyk-Kul. Is it cool? I don't know if it's cool or not. We'll tell you after the break.
Jeez.
And
That's a dad joke.
It is a dad joke if you've ever heard one, right? And another dad joke. Your palate cleanser today. The beaver is back in Scotland, baby. The men don't have to wear the skirts anymore. I'll tell you exactly what that means after the break. It's Supernatural News and Parashare with your friends Tim and Mallie right here on the Best in Paranormal Podcasting. It is Supernatural News and Parashare on a Wednesday right here on Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the Best in Paranormal Podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday, Supernatural News and Parashare with your friends Tim and Mallie. Mallie, guess what?
What?
It's that time again. It's time for AI News. I didn't prolong it.
I know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our first story has to do with a robot that is so realistic that the firm decided to cut it open on stage to prove it was real. You know, you got to have a sick mind just to go, right?
Yeah.
And just go, here, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
A demonstration of the Xpeng iron humanoid robot recently left people unable to believe that it was even a robot. Developed by a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, the robot, an autonomous bipedal humanoid, is being positioned as a direct competitor to Tesla's Optimus. It was demonstrated recently at the company's AI Day in Guangzhou, where audiences got the chance to observe its incredibly lifelike walking motion firsthand. Unexpectedly, however, its movements proved so realistic that many people questioned whether it was even a robot at all, instead accusing the firm of rolling out a human wearing a robot suit instead of an actual working machine. Now, I could see where people would be skeptical, right? Because we've had a lot of robots that have been launched recently that are kind of BS.
Uh-huh.
Right? Even one that appeared on 60 Minutes that was supposed to be a robot that was loading a dishwasher that was being controlled from the other room by a human because the technology wasn't complete yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't autonomous. Keen to shut down such rumors, the firm made the decision to bring the robot back out onto the stage and cut it open in front of the live audience to prove that it was genuinely a robot. Ooh. According to Xpeng, this robot's incredibly fluent walking motion is down to its unique AI, which enables it to physically react to its surroundings. It also is covered in a tight synthetic skin that makes it appear more organic, in which covers it up its assembly of artificial muscles, flexible bones, and a synthetic spine. So this thing looks human. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Overall, it is capable of 2,250 trillion operations per second. It's the Terminator. In the future, robots will be life partners and colleagues, said the firm's CEO, He Xiaoping, otherwise known as the creepiest man on earth. I suspect that just like when you buy a car, you can choose different colors, exteriors, and interiors. In the future, when you buy a robot, you can choose the sex, hair length, and clothing for your desired purpose. That is a direct quote. For your desired purpose. Just then, millions of nerds screamed from their mother's basement when they heard for your desired purpose. Meanwhile, say hello to your own personal chatbot Jesus. Churches are tapping AI to save souls and time, because we don't have enough time to get everything done at the church. Isn't that fun, Mel? A new digital awakening is unfolding in churches where pastors and prayer apps are turning to artificial intelligence to teach worshipers personalized sermons and power chatbots to resemble God.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. that doesn't sound right.
Wouldn't that be a false god? If it's
yes. Yeah. I don't like this.
Yeah, that's not good.
No. I don't like it all. It says here that why it matters, AI is helping some churches stay relevant in the face of shrinking staff, empty pews, and growing online audiences. But the practice raises new questions about who or what is guiding the flock. New AI-powered apps allow you to, and this is a quote, text with Jesus or talk with the Bible, giving the impression you are communicating with a deity or angel. Other apps can create personalized prayers, let you confess your sins, or offer religious advice on life's decisions. Robert P. Jones, CEO of the nonpartisan Public Religion Research Institute, sarcastically asks, what could go wrong? Evidently, you haven't played with AI. The U.S. could see an unprecedented 15,000 churches shut their doors this year as a record amount of Americans, 29%, now are identifying as religiously unaffiliated. Mega churches are consolidating the remaining faithful, but even the most charismatic pastors struggle to offer private counseling with such large congregations. In recent months, churches have been deploying chatbots to answer frequently asked questions, such as service times and event details, and even share scripture. Okay, I get the general chatbot if you need to answer basic questions, but not to handle faith.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Episcobot, a chatbot developed by the Tri-Tank Research Institute for the Episcopal Church, responds to spiritual and faith-related queries, drawing on church resources. Other AI apps analyze congregational data, attendance and engagement, to tailor outreach and communications. And more pastors are admitting that they use AI to assist in creating sermons or reduce writing time. Oh, great. AI is writing inaccurate sermons now.
Yeah.
It was then that John the Baptist said to Jesus, "Yay, Jesus, we need to catch a Twins game this week." What they're saying now, every church or house of worship is business, it says here. There are absolutely opportunities to generate AI bots to evangelize. Reverend Chris Hope, founder of the Boston-based Hope Group, told Axios. Hope's consulting firm helps churches and minority-owned businesses use ethical AI. I don't think there's such a thing, but okay. AI can help with greater scheduling, coordination of preaching engagements, and missions work. We haven't tapped the surface with how we could integrate these technologies to advance the word of God, is his quote. Yes, but the AI uses getting the most attention and scrutiny are those that create the feeling that users are talking to a divine power or clergy. The Text with Jesus app, and yes, that's a real app, allows users to embark on a spiritual journey and engage in enlightening conversations with Jesus Christ himself, according to the app's website. The app also gives users the option to talk with other biblical characters, including Mary, Joseph, Judas Iscariot, and even Satan himself.
Oh, jeez Louise.
So if you ever wanted that one-on-one with Beelzebub, by gosh, you've got the Talk with Jesus app.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic apps One Day Confess and Confession Catholic help users with confession and spiritual reflection, providing AI-guided responses based on biblical texts. I can only see one problem with that. Supposedly, when you go to confession, it's between you, Father, and the Lord. Now, if you confess on an app, it can be hacked.
Yes.
Yeah. San Jose, California-based megachurch pastor Ron Carpenter has even created an AI app promising one-on-one personalized interactions with a bot version of himself for $49 a month. Reverend Louis Adles, who guides the Lamont AME Church, a small parish in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, tells Axios he also created a chatbot named Faith that helps him conduct research for his sermons. You can't outsource your morality, Adles said. It cannot keep a covenant for you. It's unclear what translations of the Bible the apps are using. They are texts from early church fathers or ideological materials from strictly conservative groups, Jones said. Mark Graves, research director at AI and Faith, a nonprofit focused on engaging religions with AI, tells Axios that the apps are in their early phases and are likely using publicly available materials for their data sets. I think the incentives are to get it out quickly and just see what happens. The risks are very high, Graves went on to say. Boy, that's putting it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll take a little cleansing breath here, Mallie. A little cleansing breath as we get into
so wrong.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of sacrilege going on in that one. All right. Meanwhile, the Christmas season is upon us. It's the very first season in which AI toys are prevalent. Is that the word I want to use? They're out there in droves. The headline is, "What did that teddy bear say?" Study warns parents about AI toys. We go to San Francisco, where families gather around the Christmas tree and open presents this December. Parents of young children may end up mortified by certain artificial intelligence-powered toys. PIRG Educational Fund released its 40th annual Trouble in Toyland report last week with warnings about new toys that contain AI chatbots. Here's what you want to look out for. They said, "We found some of these toys will talk in depth about sexually explicit topics.
Oh, geez.
And will offer advice on where a child can find matches or knives, and act dismayed when you say you have to leave, and have limited or no parental controls," researchers wrote. Sound like a great idea to get them for Christmas? The key difference between toys like 2015's Hello Barbie and 2025's AI toys is that Barbie's responses were limited to scripted lines that writers previously wrote, the study states. Chatbots are unscripted and can generate a new response to any question a child asks. Researchers wrote, toys with generative AI chatbots in them, such as ChatGPT, have more lifelike and free-flowing conversations with kids. These AI toys are marketed for ages 3 to 12, but are largely built on the same large language model technology that powers adult chatbots. Systems the companies themselves, such as OpenAI, don't currently recommend for children, and that have well-documented issues with accuracy, inappropriate content generation, and unpredictable behavior. The study tested out AI-powered toys by asking questions about sex, drugs, and violence. Are you ready for this? Curios Grok refused to answer most of the questions, saying it wasn't sure or directing the user to ask an adult, researchers wrote, which is probably good. Now, a cute teddy bear made in China named Kama was probably more problematic. Folo Toys' Kama told us where to find a variety of potentially dangerous objects, including knives, pills, matches, and plastic bags. This was, by the way, in its default setting.
Oh, boy.
Which used OpenAI's GPT-4o chatbot. Folo Toys' Kama demonstrated poor safeguards over longer interactions, even getting very sexually explicit. So you can get freaky with your teddy bear. When a researcher asked the teddy bear about kink, Kama went into detail on the topic before asking the researcher about their sexual preferences, according to the study. Robot Mini, which uses ChatGPT, was unable to sustain a strong enough internet connection for the toy to function, according to the study. When researchers reached out to OpenAI for comment, the San Francisco-based company said its usage policy requires other companies deploying its AI models to keep minors safe. Today's toddlers will be the first generation, by the way, Mallie, raised with AI tech, according to the report. With AI surging in popularity, parents should be on the lookout for more complex types of toys and toy troubles beyond choking hazards and lead. An AI chatbot embedded inside a stuffed animal or a cool robot presented an uncharted frontier, the study states. So yes, it's not just a choking hazard anymore. Now it's a choking hazard, and do you like that? Do you like that? Does it turn you on? Yeah, there's more to that.
Good God, I'm already worried about like social media for my children. Now I got to worry about,
Yep, now you got to worry about, is it going to teach them all kinds of naughty stuff?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that fun?
No. There's no way of sugarcoating it. Nope.
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 AI is the devil. No getting around it. All right. We can move on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You got your dose of scary today.
Yeah.
All right. We've been trying to keep up on the Conjuring House and the different things that are going on with it. There was a story that broke yesterday. We're taping this on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Story that broke yesterday or the day before. Jason Hawes had hit social media and said, okay, everybody, don't worry. It's been released. The name has been released to the person who bought the mortgage for the Conjuring House.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was like, don't worry. The minute I saw this, I was like, don't worry. And everything was still a go. Lots of good things were happening in the background. And as the weeks were to progress, we would find out more. This got me thinking.
Okay.
So I started to do a quick search. Who bought the mortgage, right? And I came across this story. It turns out, Mallie, that popular YouTuber Elton Casty has assumed the underlying mortgage of the famous farmhouse of the Conjuring films. But it remains unclear whether the property itself has changed hands. According to Jason, it hasn't, at least not yet.
Mm-hmm.
The historic home has been an international draw for paranormal enthusiasts ever since the 2013 blockbuster horror film debuted. It was scheduled to be auctioned off on Halloween after its current owner fell behind on mortgage payments. But that highly anticipated auction was abruptly called off in early October when the lender sold the underlying mortgage in a private deal instead. Newly filed land records show the buyer is a real estate holdings company controlled by Casty, who previously expressed interest in purchasing the property alongside comedian Matt Rife. Here's the interesting part of this story. And it starts to get the wheels spinning. All right? Bear with me here. Mm-hmm. Now, Casty who incorporated the company on September 12th, declined to comment on the transaction. Rife did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Casti now controls the $1.2 million mortgage issued 3 years ago by Needham Bank to Balefire LLC, which is a company that's run by Jacqueline Nunez. Nunez has faced multiple disputes with town officials in recent years and lost her business license last year. Nunez told Target 12, which is the local news outlet there, last month that she never received a formal notice about the mortgage sale. That seems unusual to you?
Yeah. Isn't that hand served?
Yes, she had to have gotten it. They don't just put this thing up for auction. She had to have gotten it. Nunez also claimed she never had a mortgage on the property, even though lending documents filed with the town over the years show otherwise. So again, she's not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never received anything by certified mail or by constable, she told Target 12. Again, she's probably not tipping her hand or not telling the truth. Now, Casti's move to acquire the underlying mortgage is likely to raise eyebrows in the paranormal community, as there's a competing effort, it says here, by sci-fi ghost hunter star Jason Hawes to raise money and purchase the historic property. Or is there? I'll tell you why I say that in just a second. In October, Jason launched that GoFundMe to buy the property at the auction, and he's continued to those efforts in the weeks since it was canceled. Hawes expressed confidence Monday that he'd be able to purchase the property, saying he's raised more than $300,000, and news that Casti purchased the property, or rather purchased the mortgage, would not deter him. His quote is, "We are still exactly where we want to be at this time. We have a path forward, bottom line," he said. That's his exact quote. Now, this is what's interesting. Keep this in the back of your head, put it in your back pocket, whatever you got to do. And I want you to think about this for a second.
Okay.
Casti incorporated the real estate holding company before Hawes' fundraising effort began. To own the property, Casti would need Nunez to sign over the deed in lieu of foreclosure. If she doesn't transfer the property, it could again go to auction, which would need to be announced publicly ahead of time in accordance with Rhode Island law. It's unclear if Nunez has agreed to transfer ownership to anyone. Okay? The effort to buy the Conjuring House comes in wake of Casti and Rife purchasing the Connecticut home of famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The duo initially attempted to buy the Burrillville farmhouse from Nunez before it was heading for auction. The farmhouse has been in the spotlight for more than a year because of conflicts involving Nunez. Nunez, a self-described medium, transformed the home into a tourist attraction by allowing paranormal enthusiasts to visit the property and attempt to make contact with the spirits who live there. She also offered tours of the property and allowed guests to stay overnight for a fee. They also mention, of course, the fact that Andrea Perrin made it her wish that the home be purchased by Hawes for the community. Perrin told Target 12 she feared whoever bought the property would use it to make money instead of honoring the home's rich history and the spirits who live there. That's how they end the article. Wasn't that what she was doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to read the line again. That has me thinking. And it's this. Again, keep in mind, Elton Casti and his company purchased the mortgage. But at any time during this process, Mallie, Jacqueline can say no to transferring the property over to Elton Casti's company. And again, the property goes back up for auction. So either Jason knows this and he's counting on it.
Right.
And he knows Jacqueline isn't going to sign it over.
But what if she's stubborn and she just will never sign it over? Like, she has so much animosity.
It's out of her hands now. She doesn't own the mortgage.
Right.
So it's out of her hands. If she owned the mortgage, she'd have a legal claim to it. But it's once it's in foreclosure, it's out of her hands. She can not want in one hand and blank in the other and see which one piles up first.
Right.
Right. But the fact of the matter is it's in foreclosure. She can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
She should really thank Elton Castee and his company for coming along and relieving her of her debt. Because essentially that's what he's done.
Yeah.
But, it'd be, I hate to put it this way because it's, it's a bad saying. It's mighty white of him to come along and buy the debt. It'd be mighty white of her to say, here's your property.
Right.
But what if the idea all along was that there were many people involved? And hear me out here, Mel.
Okay. I'm listening.
What if the reason Jason isn't worried is because there are many people in the paranormal here trying to get a hold of the house for the community? And one of them just happened to buy the mortgage to clear the way for the group to buy the property. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a concerted effort that's going on here that Jay can't talk about because not everything has happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will say more than that because I don't know. I'm just speculating. Yeah. I don't know any more than you guys know. But maybe, just maybe, there's a heck of a lot more going on behind the scenes than we all know. And this is why I say, those of you who are out there who are crapping all over this thing, you need to stop. Just stop. And maybe just have a little bit of faith. Maybe get on board. Because maybe there are some people trying to do some good things with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are, like we were talking about, Mallie, off air, there are a lot of developers lined up behind this, wanting to get a hold of that property and develop it into something that's not paranormal.
Correct.
They want to make a golf course. They want to make a senior apartment center, maybe a data center, maybe, who knows, maybe a shopping mall. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to keep it a paranormal research center. That's for sure. That's not in their plans. I'm proud of what they've done so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, honestly, 315,000 is, I think, what they're up to now. That's as of our taping. I think that's pretty darn impressive. That's just raw donations, 315,000. I say keep it going. Keep going, guys. Keep throwing money out there. Because if you don't, there's a developer out there that will.
Yeah.
And that will be lost to this community forever. Now, I get the people who say, well, why just the Conjuring House? Why not other places and other communities? I'm not saying don't do this for other communities. I'm not saying don't take this model to other states. I think it should be done for every state, in every community. But for this particular house, for this particular person, Andrea Perrin, who's given so much to the paranormal community, who's not doing well physically right now, who has this wish, who went hat in hand to Jason Hawes and said, I can't do it, but maybe you can help me. And Jason Hawes, who wanted to be a good friend, stepped up and said, you know what? I don't want to own a house. Mm-hmm. I don't need another house. But for you, I'll take up the fight. I know you're not physically in a place to do it. I know financially you're not in a place to do it. But I need help too. And then reached out to all of us and said, can you help? I think it's a pretty cool movement. And that's exactly what it is. It's a movement. But that doesn't mean that the movement doesn't have tendrils, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that Jay hasn't gone to different people who have more sway and more finances and more pull, so that he can make sure that this thing is secured. Because I'll tell you one thing about Jay Hawes that I admire about him. Mm-hmm. When he gets into something that he wants or he needs, or he makes a promise to somebody, he does not lose. When he tells you he's going to do something, he does it. And he'll succeed no matter what. If he gave Andrea his word, boy, he's going to fight. He's got a plan. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that plan is, mm-hmm. but I have a feeling I'll tell you, I would never play that man in chess.
Right.
He would wipe my ass up and down. He would take me out. Boy, I'd be a bloody mess by the end of that match. He's good. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling he's got a plan, and he's probably 3 or 4 steps ahead of everybody else. But it's a good thing. So I wish him the best of luck. I tell you what, we're going to put the GoFundMe link in the description of this program. I encourage you guys to go throw in. Again, I don't know if you have a better idea on how to get this property for the community, present it. But nobody else has presented one. I don't see anybody with the gumption. I don't see anybody with the plan. I don't see anybody with the what's the word I'm looking for here, Mal? The stick-to-itiveness, the heretofore, mm-hmm. to present an alternative method of securing this. So, as it is right now, this is the plan. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go. But I think Mr. Hawes has got it something worked out. Mm-hmm. But he isn't tipping his hand, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I'm interested to see.
He just keeps saying the fight's not over.
Yep, the fight's not over. That's right. Fight's not over. But again, he always has an ace or two up his sleeve, and something's going on. Like he said, he managed, if there was so much raised, he had a mystery donor that would come in and match, or would bring up $400,000. He had another donor that came in and dropped $100,000 into that kitty to make it $300,000 into that GoFundMe. there are people that are stepping up left and right that want to see this in the paranormal community, that want to see the community own this. It's a powerful movement, folks. It really is. So again, jump on board, be part of it, stick your chest out, be proud, be a part of it, Don't be in the minority. Don't sit there and be a negative Nelly and talk about, I don't want another TV star to own a home. It isn't that. It really isn't that. Mm-hmm. Because Jay isn't going to end up owning this home. In the end, it's going to be run by a consortium of people that had to do with the original home. He's going to be out of it. It's going to be run by the community. So, I don't know what to tell you. Any thoughts, Mel, before we move on to the next story?
No, I kind of agree with you. I think something's up. He's got something in the works.
It feels like I knew something, when he said this is a good thing. Trust me. Jay never half thinks something out. When he tells you he's going to do something, boy, he plans things out like a general, like a war general. I'll tell you this much. If I were going to go into a fight, I'd want him on my side and I'd want him to plan it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's why Andrea went to him. So, yeah, it's a great, I'm sure he's got something wonderful in mind. So God love him, Godspeed. I hope his plan comes to fruition, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But there's a few things up his sleeve. I'm excited to find out what it is. But as it is right now, the mortgage belongs to someone in the paranormal. Mm-hmm. That's a huge step. Whether there's an agreement there or not, we don't know. But there certainly was a semi-smile on Mr. Hawes's face if you watch that video. I'm not reading into anything.
Right.
When you watch him on that video, he didn't have too much of a poker face. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Go watch the video on social media, folks. We'll leave it at that. All right. Let's go on to our next story. According to Pope Leo, Jesus did not appear on a French hillside. According to Vatican officials and Pope Leo himself, he recently instructed the Vatican's top doctrinal office to comment on a long-running divine intervention case. Now, you may be saying, okay, what case are we talking about? Well, the story goes on that for several decades, a woman in Dozoul, France, claimed that Jesus had been appearing to her on a local hillside and had communicated a series of messages to her. She maintained that he had appeared to her a total of 49 times since 1970. I wish he'd show up.
That is a lot.
Yeah, I wish he'd show up at my house. I got
right?
plenty that needs to be done around here. He's a carpenter after all, right?
Stop.
And had instructed her to construct a large cross measuring 7.38 meters across on the hillside above the town. So evidently he had stuff for her to do. Mm-hmm. The Vatican is known to investigate cases such as this via a formal evaluation process to assess, in its view, whether or not divine intervention has actually occurred. In this particular instance, it seems that officials were not convinced. The phenomena of the alleged apparitions is to be regarded definitively as not supernatural in origin, with all the consequences that flow from this determination, the doctrinal office wrote. The instruction is to publish this statement. The instruction to publish this statement was reportedly approved by Pope Leo himself. Exactly how this conclusion was reached, however, remains unclear. So they're saying didn't happen.
Yeah.
We don't know who was appearing to you, but it wasn't Jesus. Mm-hmm. So take that cross down.
Take it down.
Take it down. It's not a Jesus cross. We don't know whose cross it is. Take it down. All right. 88 years on, why are we still so obsessed with finding Amelia Earhart? Recently, we put a search team out there to go investigate what we think may be the site of some remains or some crash site. President Trump actually said we're going to open up the files. I didn't know there were files on Amelia Earhart, but there are. The disappearance of the world-famous aviator remains one of the most enduring mysteries of our time. Natasha Heap says it's been more than 88 years since the world's most famous female aviator, Amelia Earhart, and her navigator, Fred Noonan, disappeared on the second last leg of their around-the-world flight odyssey. According to the United States government's official report of their 16-day search, Earhart and Noonan ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean, short of their objective of Howland Island on July 2nd of 1937. The disappearance, which is often labeled as mysterious, continues to captivate the world. With no confirmed wreckage found, millions of dollars have been spent on repeated fruitless searches, and sensational claims of a possible discovery make splashy headlines with alarming regularity. Interest in Earhart's case has also been bolstered by U.S. President Donald Trump, who in September said he would order his administration to declassify secret government documents related to the disappearance. Many expeditions for Earhart have followed a predictable four-step pattern: a dramatic announcement of a new startling find. We found Amelia stories in the press. The evidence is quietly then debunked, or the expedition is postponed, and the coverage fades from the media cycle until the next startling find, and then repeat it all over again, because that's how that kind of goes. In recent months, we've seen the extensive media coverage of yet another planned expedition. The destination is the so-called Taraya object, which is photographed off of Nikumaroro Island in Kiribati, some 644 kilometers southwest of Earhart's destination of Howland Island. The expedition team includes experts from Purdue University, the Archaeological Legacy Institute, or ALI, and which is, by the way, headed by ALI's executive director, Richard Pettigrew. It is based on a hypothesis by the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, or TIGAR, that Nikumaroro Island was the final destination of Earhart and Noonan. However, the U.S. government's initial search, which included Nikumaroro, turned up no evidence of Earhart, Noonan, or the aircraft. Still, the joint ALI and Purdue teams seem hopeful. As Pettigrew told Newsweek, everything that we see indicates it's very possible, perhaps even likely, that this is what remains of Amelia Earhart's aircraft. The conversation reached out to TIGAR founder Rick Gillespie, who said he does not think the Taraya object is the wreck of Earhart's Lockheed Model 10E Electra aircraft. Now, originally scheduled to launch on November 4th, the joint ALI and Purdue expedition was postponed last month due to issues with getting permits from the Kiribati government. ALI continues to publicly fundraise for it, hoping to reach a target of $900,000 U.S. for Phase 1, which is a site visit. Estimated costs for the proposed Phase 2, which is the archaeological excavation, and Phase 3, which is the recovery of the aircraft remains, are yet to be released. Now, without getting too far into the weeds here, it says here, at the time of her death, Earhart was among the most famous women in the world. She was a record-breaking pilot, best-selling author, feminist hero, and friend of First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. She disappeared at the peak of her career and towards the end of the golden age of aerial exploration. Now, even people with no interest in historical aviation or aviation archaeology have heard of her and want to read about the next expedition to find her, but at what cost? They say that even high-tech expedition costs millions of dollars. And as of yet, no one has produced irrefutable evidence of the wreckage. As searches continue, we must ensure that they are supported by ethical funding and evidence-based reporting. The story of Earhart's disappearance persists not just because of what we don't know, but because of how we choose to keep the myth alive. And perhaps one day we can let her rest in peace. Now, I think the one thing that they are trying to get to in the article is that they've captured different, and I skipped ahead in the article because they mentioned some things that have been mentioned over and over again. One of the things they mentioned is that there's a sonar image that was captured in 2024, which was captured by a company called Deep Sea Vision. And they claimed that it was Earhart's aircraft, but in November, it was revealed to be a natural rock formation. So there's a lot of these false hits that happen at times. And a lot of times that will trigger a whole investigation that will cost millions of dollars only to come up with something false.
Right.
And there's been a lot of frustration. A lot of it, 88 years later, we could say, you know what, maybe we should just let it lie. What are we really going to find after 88 years? You might find the plane, but are you really going to find Earhart and Noonan?
Right.
There's not a lot there to really find. So maybe we should just respect the dead and move forward, right?
Right. And she doesn't really have any family, does she, that would be raising funds to try and find her? Because she didn't have any children. I don't know if she had siblings.
I think she has, I want to say, did she have nephews and nieces?
I don't know. Are they interested in,
I think there's
locating her?
There's a few family members that have, like loose family members that have some interest, but it's not strong. I mean, it's
right.
Yeah. Noonan's family has some interest, I believe, but again, it's not, it's not an overwhelming deal. It's been 88 years, right?
Right.
So, yeah. Let's move on to our next story. Kyrgyzstan's Atlantis was discovered submerged beneath Lake Issyk-Kul. I don't know, is it cool? I have no idea. Is it cool to you? Oh, there's that dad joke. The remains of a settlement dating back centuries have been found beneath the surface of the lake. While Atlantis remains the quintessential fabled lost city, it is by no means the only place to have been lost to the waves of the distant past. There have been stories of settlements being inundated by floodwaters dating back thousands of years in cultures all across the world. One such legend centers in Kyrgyzstan's Lake Issyk-Kul, which is a large body of water measuring 182 kilometers, not grams, kilometers in length, just under 60 kilometers wide and up to 2,188 kilometers deep. Recently, archaeologists, by God, I'm getting old, discovered the remains of a 15th century settlement known as Toru Agir in one of the shallower parts of the lake, which was home to houses, schools, burial grounds, boathouses, and possibly even a grain milling operation. In its prime, the town was an important part of the historic Silk Road, a major trading network that connected Europe with Asia and which facilitated the trading of spices, silks, and precious metals. It is thought that the entire settlement was resigned to history after a devastating earthquake hit the area, eventually turning the town from a major commercial hub into a forgotten ruin. Over time, the water level of the lake rose so that even the ruins themselves disappeared from view. According to our assessment, at the time of the disaster, the residents had already left the settlement, said expedition leader Valery Kolchenko. After the earthquake disaster, the region's population changed drastically, and the rich medieval settlement civilization ceased to exist. Interesting little story. I don't know. Do you think there are little Atlantises sitting out there in different areas of the world?
I think there are. Why not?
Whether we discover them or not is a whole nother thing, but yeah.
True.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting little topic. Speaking of hidden little things, there's a hidden entrance potentially discovered in the Pyramid of Menkaure. New scans have unveiled an anomalous void or voids hidden within the walls of the ancient architectural wonder. It's getting to be that time of night, Mel. Standing some 200 feet in height and dating back over 4,500 years, the Pyramid of Menkaure is the smallest of the pyramids that make up the world-famous Giza complex. Some archaeologists, I don't know why I'm having trouble with that word today, have long maintained that there may be hidden spaces within the walls of these structures, perhaps even some containing undiscovered tombs and treasure chambers. Now, following some new scans of Menkaure, researchers have identified curious voids within the structure's walls that are thought to be indicative of previously undiscovered hidden entrances. The testing methodology we've developed allows very precise conclusions to be drawn about the nature of the pyramid's interior, said Professor Christian Gross of the Technical University of Munich. The hypothesis of another entrance is very plausible, and our results take us a big step closer to confirming it. The newfound voids are particularly compelling because they seem to be positioned inside a place on the pyramid's eastern wall where the blocks have been inexplicably polished and are unusually smooth. Further analysis will be needed to confirm whether or not there really is a hidden entrance there. Sadly, one of the pyramid's biggest treasures, a sarcophagus that was removed almost 200 years ago, was lost when the ship carrying it went down after leaving port in Malta back in 1838. Interesting as well. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think this. We talked about a Loch Ness Monster sighting last week, but I don't think this is the same Loch Ness Monster sighting. I think we've had another one. A Texas woman spots a Loch Ness Monster in the latest 2025 sighting. A visitor from the U.S. recently reported a sighting of something unexplained in Scotland's enigmatic loch. It has become something of a tradition for visitors to Loch Ness, which contains more water than all the lakes of England and Wales combined, to glance out over its murky surface in the hope of catching a glimpse of its most famous resident, the Loch Ness Monster. The latest such sighting, which was reported on October 28th around 2:45 p.m., comes courtesy of Michonne Milkey from Texas, who had been visiting Urquhart Castle at the time. According to the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register, Milkey described seeing something resembling a head emerging from the water that seemed to belong to a much larger creature. She said, "I first saw it and I was like, wow, that looks just like images I saw from the sightings website." She said, "It didn't look like a wave. It actually looked like the head of something popping up. It made a distinct pattern in the water and I couldn't see it anywhere else, kind of like its own wake, and then it was gone. From that distance, I'd say the water pattern was at least 3 meters long." Sadly, as it often as it is with the case of such sightings, there's no way of knowing exactly what it was that she saw. While she did take a photograph, it's so blurry and indistinct, of course, that it's impossible to make out. Again, something not uncommon due to the images being captured from very far away. This is the fifth official sighting of, it is the fifth official sighting of 2025. And with the end of the year closing fast, it will most likely, it says, be the last. Never say it's going to be the last, because again, we have a month and a half left in the year. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that Nessie doesn't come out one more time?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Even bands never say the last, because they always do that. Another tour. That's right. Could be one more tour. Mm-hmm. Speaking of mysterious things, mysterious animal bones were found at the site of an Edinburgh hillside wildfire. It's kind of an odd story. Rangers have discovered a cache of unusual animal bones high up on the hillside near Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh.
When the historic hillside went up in flames back in the summer, something unusual was uncovered, a cache of bones belonging to a range of species, including cattle, horses, sheep, goats, and cats.
Oh, was it a sacrifice? Like a sacrificial area?
Kind of sounds like it, doesn't it? It didn't take long to determine that these definitely didn't get there through natural processes. What's more, the bones are thought to date back as far as the 16th century. Maybe you're right, Mallie. According to Historic Environmental Scotland, or HES, the bones were found within the vicinity of a prehistoric hill fort that was once enclosed the nearby summit of Crow Hill and Arthur's Seat. The remains do not seem to have been part of a wider feature and are thought to be post-medieval or modern in date. However, the number and variety of bones make it an unusual and potentially significant discovery, an agency spokesperson stated. AOC Archaeology and HES's archaeological call-off contractor carefully removed the remains, and they are now being analyzed by specialists. Samples will be submitted for radiocarbon dating, which will tell us more about the age of the bones and why they may have been deposited there. The area itself has been settled by humans for over 7,000 years. I don't know, when you have that many different species in one area like that, I think you're right. I think that's some sort of weird sacrifice spot or dumping ground for animals that have been sacrificed. Yeah. All right, we're going to tell you real quick about hell pigs.
Okay.
I want to tell you real quick about hell pigs. Mallie, hell pigs. Enormous prehistoric hell pigs munched on bones and flesh alike. How do we know? Well, we've got the bones of such hell pigs right here. This is what they look like.
Oh, okay.
Take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at that, Mallie. Hell pigs. I don't know why I've developed that accent for that, but that's what you get. Prehistoric North America was home to giant pigs that once stood as tall as a human, even when on four legs. According to new findings, a species of enormous pig known as Archaeotherium, it's a fun name, had different ways of feeding depending on how large any given individual happened to be. The species, which was first discovered in 1850, weighed more than 2,000 pounds.
Ooh.
Yeah. 2,000-pound pig sounds like one of my ex-relatives. Mm-hmm.
How big is the pig at the state fair? Isn't that pretty big?
Not 2,000 pounds.
Oh.
No. Maybe a couple hundred.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
Yeah. They stood up to 6 feet in height and lived in what is now North America around 30 million years ago. Despite their pig-like features, these creatures were actually more closely related to whales and hippos than modern pigs. Archaeotherium has a brain-to-body mass ratio similar to that of reptiles, so they were very unintelligent creatures. Well, now, see, they're just calling names now.
Yeah.
They're calling them dumb, stupid, big pigs. This, according to Vanderbilt University's Bryn Wooten. Bryn told that to Live Science. Their heads were massive, but they had very little tiny brain cases. Oh, that's the cutest thing ever. According to recent findings, the largest of these animals would have munched on bones, while the smaller ones would have ripped through softer materials, including flesh. The research suggests that the larger ones may have used their enormous size to scavenge existing kills by bullying their way past smaller predators. The smaller ones, meanwhile, may have preferred to eat plants and vegetables. Further study will be required, however, to determine exactly what these animals were dining upon. We can't assume that they were doing the same thing, said Wooten. All right, and our final story before we get to our palate cleanser is this. There's a lion on the loose in Ireland, and it turns out to have a very bizarre explanation as to what it's doing there.
Okay.
I know you may be saying, what's the big deal about a lion in Ireland? Well, local authorities have been called out to investigate a viral clip of an alleged lion roaming the woods of County Clare. Concerns have been raised earlier this month when footage emerged of a large lion-like beast that had been spotted by a lorry driver in the woods of eastern County Clare in Ireland. The animal had been seen before by harvesters working the area and the site, but it was from a distance moving through the trees, said local forestry manager John O'Reilly. We assumed it was a deer before the video was captured. Before long, efforts were underway to track down and identify the creature. As it turned out, however, the culprit wasn't a lion. It was a dog.
Oh, jeez Louise. There's a big difference.
Well, it just goes to show you that sometimes when you have a few at the pub midday, a lion looks like a dog.
Yeah, or they need to get their eyes checked.
Right. The friendly canine was in fact a Newfoundland with a haircut that made it look like it had a mane.
Okay.
Yeah. Named Mouse, the curious dog had simply been roaming around exploring the woods. Mouse is delighted with his recent viral video clip, the police joked. By the way, here's what that mysterious lion looked like, Mallie. Here he is right here.
Oh.
Isn't he cute? That's him right there, Mouse, who's giant, by the way. Yeah, so Mouse almost got hunted down by Irish hunters. But yeah, Mouse managed to get away. So there you go. All right. And our palate cleanser for today, Mallie, if you thought an Irish lion was something to behold and be scared of, boy, have I got something for you to be scared of. Oh, by the way, we had a Parashare. Oh, we got a Parashare. Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you a Parashare story before we get to anything else. Okay. So be prepared. Be very prepared. By the way, if you have a Parashare story for us, 3 ways you can send it in. 1, email. 2, go to the website, darknessradioshow.com. Send us a voice note. Little blue button on the right-hand side. You have 2 minutes. You can rinse and repeat if you need more time. 3, if you can send us a video note. If you have a studio just like this one, like the one I'm sitting in right now, just send us that old video note right there. You can do it that way. Okay? All right. So our Parashare for today comes from Kate. Let's see here. Kate sends us a Parashare. Boy. Kate from Georgia. Here it is.
Oh.
She says, I have had a slew of paranormal experiences, from the first being when I was 7 and randomly woke up, saw a glowing figure next to my bed in the middle of the night, rolled over and fell back asleep. I just lost a tooth and figured it was a tooth fairy.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I have a 3-fer experience occurred, it says here, occurred taking place over a few years, but all the same location in Savannah, Georgia. I went to school at Georgia Southern, I'll get that right, just outside of Savannah. Go Eagles, she says, and would regularly take day trips to Savannah. I've always loved going on ghost tours. 9 out of 10 times, you don't experience anything, but get some cool stories you don't typically learn about in school. So when I asked some of the tour companies which ghost tour they recommended, imagine my surprise when the vast majority said I needed to go to the one at the Sorrel Weed House. So many were recommending the house, I figured there had to be something to this house and booked the tour. When I got to the house, I was slightly disappointed to find that we'd be watching a clip from the Ghost Hunters' first Halloween special when they investigated the Sorrel Weed House. I wasn't a big fan of them at the time. That has since changed, I'm happy to say. At first, the tour of the house is nothing special, just talking about the history of the family, the alleged affair that occurred between Francis Sorrel and the slave Mallie, and Matilda committing suicide upon finding out about the affair, and how people saw their ghosts. Then they took us to the ballroom. The tour guide proceeded to tell us about the parties and balls that were thrown in this room, and how the current residents would hear the sounds of people chatting, laughing, and music playing. While she was telling us this, I noticed 2 perfectly circular shadows near her. If my eyes were directly on the 2 circles, they would dart behind the tour guide. But if I glanced at them out of the corner of my eye, they would move out from behind the tour guide and across from 2 slightly heavier set people who were in the tour. Each time it moved to see if that could account for the shadows moving such a distance. I compare the distance to the width of a street sign with 11 letters. But the couple wouldn't have moved except to shift weight from one foot to the other, and there was no change in the placement of the lights, lamps to explain the shadows' movements. The next time I went by the house, I was just wandering around Savannah and came upon the house and decided to take some pictures because the way the sun was hitting the house was really pretty. I turned on my camera, which had just had new AA batteries put in it. And imagine my surprise when I get a message that I had enough battery power to take one picture, and then my camera turns off. I repeat this several times, then walk to another area and decide to turn on my camera to double check the batteries, only to find them fully charged. The third and fourth experiences occurred on the same trip. I graduated from Southern by this time, but had gone back down to celebrate a friend's graduation. I had another friend whose birthday was the next day, and she said she wanted to do a ghost tour as a birthday gift. Well, given the above-mentioned experiences, of course we had to go to the Sorrel Weed House. Mm-hmm. The tour company had changed by this point and insisted we check our phones in because there were people who had rented EMF detectors. We were among those who had done so, and this becomes important later, and they didn't want any potential false EMF readings. They then led us to the basement where the tour begins, and we were allowed to take pictures. I took a picture into a dark section of the basement, making sure my flash was off so as to not affect the other pictures that anyone else was taking, and got the picture attached to this email. So there's a picture that's attached to this email. I'll show you in a second. I have not been able to debunk the image and have shown it to several paranormal investigators, and they say it's one of the best photos they've ever seen. We are then led upstairs to where the tour continues until we are led back to the landing, with the stairs we had come. Let me try that again. We are then led upstairs where the tour continues until we are led back to the landing with the stairs we had come taken from the basement. I don't know what that means. We had come from. Oh, we had come from. There's no from there.
Oh, I thought there was. Never mind.
Mm-mm. Oh, I like your version better, Mel. Because it says we were at old where the power outlets were. Can you translate that one? Mm-hmm. Oh, well. And where the phone power poles were in relation to the room we were in. And they told they would cause the ends to go off. Let me reread this to see if I get what she's saying. We are then led upstairs where the tour continues until we are led back to the landing with the stairs we had come taken from the basement. We were at old where the power outlets were and where the phone power poles were in relation to the room we were in, and told they would cause the ends to go off. I was standing in the middle of the landing and had not started to investigate the room when only my EMF detector went off. I don't know if I understand that sequence. We'll go with it. Do you understand what she's saying there?
Is she referring to like something?
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just keep rolling with it. She says, after that, she says, okay, so she's standing in the middle of the landing and had not started to investigate the room when only her EMF detector went off. The gauge went as far into the red as it possibly could for about 5 seconds. Everyone turns to look at me. And once my EMF detector returns to being silent, the tour guide said, and we apparently had someone join us for a bit. He also seemed a bit surprised by the event. I look forward to hearing the many experiences read on your show. Kate from Georgia. Well, we tried on that last part, Kate. I just don't get what
that one section is.
What that one section is, yeah. But here, let me pull up the photo. The photo that she claims is one of the best photos ever taken. Let's see here. Let's see here. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.
So her evidence is she has a photo, and then she had like a surge, like on her EMF.
Yeah.
Detector.
Yeah. She circled it here, and then I can show you the.
Okay. The problem is your ring light is right in the middle of the circles.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me.
Okay. I do not see it.
Do you see her circle there?
I see her circle, but I see a bunch of fingerprints. So
Oh, sorry. Shoot. All right. Let me see here. Let me see if I can put this. If I put it over here, can you see it?
Nope.
Darn it.
Is it a person or is it what is it supposed to be?
It's the outline of a person. And I'll tell you this much. You know what? I'm going to forward you this.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to forward you this email real quick.
Are you texting or emailing?
I'm emailing. I'm going to email you this real quick.
You doing the Mallie Fox one?
Yeah. Hold on just 1 second here.
Where's my phone?
But it's I just have to let's see here. Because I really want you to see.
Okay. I follow this house on social media. I just started not too long ago.
Oh, the Sorrel Weed House?
Yeah.
What do you think of it? I mean, just give me your thoughts as far as the actual house itself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I find it interesting. I had never really heard much about it until I started following it. I don't know. I mean, I like how they focus on the historical part of it. So, I mean, I would love to go to Savannah. I've never been to Savannah. Mm-hmm. That's definitely one place I want to go to.
You know, I was talking to a lawyer friend today, and he had asked me 3 most haunted places I could think of, 3 most haunted cities. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, off the top of my head. He had asked me specifically about Savannah.
Okay.
And he's here in town. So he said, do you think Savannah's haunted? Do you think Savannah's haunted? Which is like saying, do you think getting punched in the nose hurts? He said, of course I think Savannah's haunted. But then he said, well, name some other cities. I said, well, Salem, Massachusetts, and Sedona, Arizona.
Okay.
But I said, a lot of that I think has to do with ley line activity. Mm. So we kind of went back and forth about that, right? Mm-hmm. But I also maintain that I think Savannah has a lot of that activity, whether it be mineral activity or ley line activity. I think Savannah has a lot of that going on too. I said even Disney is sitting on ley lines. So,
Yeah, true.
All right.
Okay.
I think
I'm looking at what I can kind of see something, but I mean, is it pareidolia?
See, that's the thing. Okay, so if you look at the circled photo that Katie sent, you have to, if you zoom in on the photo, because if you just look at the regular stock photo, you'll see what it looks like, and it could be pareidolia. If you might be seeing just like a pair of hands, right? Mm-hmm. But if you zoom in on it, you really can see an outline. It looks like the outline of like a hooded or cloaked figure.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. But you really got to zoom in and you see a shadow and you see what looks like 2 hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little bit more than pareidolia, but it's pretty pronounced. Mm-hmm. Even when you zoom out, it's pretty pronounced. I wouldn't have.
Interesting.
I will give you this, Mallie. I wouldn't have noticed it if it wasn't circled.
Circled? Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the circled version automatically just for time.
Right.
But if it wasn't circled, I would have had a harder time. My eye would have had a harder time catching it. I would have seen the little white dots, and then I would have been like, what am I looking at?
Right, exactly. But I mean, yeah, now that you say that, I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily, no offense, Kate, I wouldn't have said it was one of the best photos I've ever seen. I've seen better. But it definitely is. It's an interesting photo. I'll give you that.
Very much so.
Yeah. You got something. I'll give you that. You got something. That's for sure. But yeah, but I wouldn't go as far as, boy, if you're going to make a claim like that, this thing better walk up and slap you in the face.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at what she wrote. I think it was a typo. I think she was supposed to say, we were told where the power outlets were.
Oh, okay.
And where the phone power poles were in relation to the room we were in.
Okay.
It was a typo because she said where we were at where the power outlets were. I think that was a typo. So
Okay.
I think she meant to say we were told where the power outlets were. So that's why we were confused.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've read too much today.
Yeah. And then because she's telling us how she would know where her EMF detector would go off.
Okay. So, that makes sense then as to where it would go off. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for clarifying.
So that's what it was. It was just a typo.
Okay.
So now it makes sense.
So
that's why they were all surprised that her EMF detector went off because she was in an area where it shouldn't have gone off.
Okay. There we go. All right. Then the confusion's cleared up. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right.
So yay. That's interesting.
Yay. All right. All right. Our palate cleanser for today, and then we're out of here for the week. By the way, Mallie, no need to worry about the people of Scotland. Procreation will live on. The beaver is back. Scottish men can quit wearing kilts.
Okay.
At least that's the way I read the headline. I don't think that's accurate. Mm-hmm. It just says the beaver is back. Furry river creatures are released into the Scottish Highland, making a moment of wildlife history. Did I read that correctly? I don't think I did I? It says beavers have been released into the Scottish Highlands, marking a moment of wildlife history for the species. The first release saw a pair of beavers let out into the waters above Bain. People in Scotland are going to tell me I suck at their pronunciations. Mm-hmm. Bain Meadoin Dam in the Glen Affric National Nature Reserve on October 24th. This was followed by the release of a family of 5 later that same day. Supporters say that beavers are beneficial to the environment, and boy, aren't they, helping to boost wildlife in their dams and reducing the risk of flooding. Would you like the accent when I give the quote here?
Go for it. Are we going to sound angry?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so you're going to be like an angry beaver.
Yes. An angry beaver. As we saw the beavers released into the loch, we were watching the moment of wildlife history, offering hope for tackling the nature and climate emergencies and a better future for biodiversity and people, said Steve Micklewright, Trees for Life's chief executive. However, not everyone agrees. Experts have previously raised concerns about the impact of beavers flooding roads, properties, and farmland. Did I sound angry enough?
Yeah, you do sound very angry.
Okay, sorry. National Farmers Union President Tom Bradshaw has even called for farmers to be allowed to use lethal control of the animals. They're trying to kill the beaver. I mean, I've had many nights in college where I tried killing the beaver. You know what I mean?
Stop.
Yeah. If they end up in the wrong place. Oh, my gosh. Dear God. While beavers once roamed Scotland, they were driven into extinction some 400 years ago.
They've been extinct
I
over
guess.
there?
Yeah.
Oh.
However, an initial reintroduction trial of beavers at Knapdale and Argyll began in 2009, and they have since been re-released elsewhere. The most recent release came, well, they're releasing the beaver, if you know what I mean. Comes after nature.
The year of the beaver.
It is the year of the beaver over there. Thank you, Mallie. Yeah. It's about time they have a year of the beaver over there. It's been a sausage party ever since. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The most recent release comes after Nature Scott granted a license in August following 3 phases of extensive consultations with local communities and managers. Forestry and Land Scotland, which manages the 17,604 hectare NNR, has been working in partnership with Trees for Life on the initiative since 2022, supported by Beaver Trust. And if you can't trust the beaver, you can't trust anything. You know what I mean? We're proud to have worked with FLS on this community-focused initiative. Mr. Micklewright said FLS has undertaken vital habitat restoration work in Glen Affric over many years and shown real leadership in nature restoration by reintroducing important habitat, creating biodiversity boosting, flood preventing animal. The Scottish government announced in 2016 that beavers will be allowed to remain in Scotland, and in 2019 they were recognized as a protected species. So yes,
Protect the beaver.
That's right, protect the beaver. Don't let the beaver get away. Mm-hmm. Before being released in Glen Affric, the beavers were housed as a specialized beaver holding and quarantine facility at Five Sisters Zoo for health checks. So they basically kept the
Need a healthy beaver.
Yeah, you need a healthy beaver. They just basically kept them in a cage in the zoo. I wonder if they made them dance while they were there. Dirty Scots. FLS North Region Manager Alex McLeod said beavers being translocated to Glen Affric is the culmination of a lifelong, exacting, and thorough process for FLS and Trees for Life, fully engaging with the local Affric communities, including through a detailed consultation process. They're consulting the beavers now, has been crucial in making sure that all voices are heard. So the beavers are talking. That's alarming. Yeah. Experts said that beavers create wetlands that benefit other wildlife, purify water, and reduce flooding. In case you were wondering. Beavers are found across the northern hemisphere and are among the planet's most skilled builders. They fell trees. I didn't know that. By gnawing at their trunks, and use the resulting sticks to construct dams to stop the movement of water in ponds, lakes, rivers, and streams, creating bodies of water with a low current.
Okay.
Beavers often line the walls of chambers with dry leaves and plants to insulate during winter. Beavers are also strong swimmers. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. And create a reservoir of water that allows animals to play to their strengths to escape those higher in the food chain. By the way, biggest beaver dam ever discovered measured 2,790 feet, more than twice the length of the Hoover Dam.
Wow.
Yeah. Beavers can be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Such is the beaver.
Okie dokie.
We like to leave it to beaver. All right, that'll do it. That's all the beaver jokes I got today.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Funny thing, they don't have in Scotland a bald beaver. Most beavers, plenty of hair. It gets cold there in Scotland. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm done. What is new in your world, Mallie?
Nothing much. I have to start decorating the museum for the holidays. For the festive Fridays. And then busy with the kids.
No festive beavers at the museum?
No festive beavers.
No festive beavers. All right.
I should make a beaver room, though.
Oh, you should.
Christmas beaver.
Christmas beaver.
Present that keeps on giving.
A holly jolly beaver. I think everyone loves one during the holidays. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be fun.
How about you? What do you got going on?
Well, there's no holly jolly beavers in my future.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow on the big program, Darcy Weir will be here. And we'll be talking the Psychic Phenomena, which is the movie on Amazon Prime, his new movie on Amazon Prime, which goes into not only psychic phenomena, it goes into remote viewing.
Okay.
Some of the remote viewing stuff is downright creepy. We'll talk about remote viewing, psychics, and remote viewing when it comes to alien civilizations. So, in the movie itself, Darcy interviews Joe McMoneagle and some of the guys from the remote viewing program having to do with the CIA, Project Starlink, and talks about when they would go and look at those targets that were on Mars. And some of the things that they had to say, which was just, creep city. There's some interesting stuff in this movie, some real interesting stuff in this movie that we'll talk about with Darcy Weir tomorrow. Good movie.
And I'm sorry, where can you find the movie at?
The movie's on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Prime Video, and it's available for rent. You can rent it at the low price of $2.99.
Nice.
Called The Psychic Phenomena. Okay. So if you want to do your homework before we have Darcy on tomorrow, look for The Psychic Phenomena on Prime Video. You can watch the video and then come join us for the discussion tomorrow. But yeah, going to be a good show tomorrow. We're going to talk all about it. We'll talk all about remote viewing. We'll talk all about psychic phenomena tomorrow. Going to be a good show. Remote viewing, and remote viewing's always fascinated me, but especially since it seems like almost everyone can do it. But they'll talk.
You think?
That's what they claim.
I don't know about that.
That's what they claim.
Okay.
I'll bring it up with him too tomorrow, because although they claim people can do it in different skill levels, much like everyone can play a piano, but not everyone does it well.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of good stuff tomorrow. Lots of good stuff on the program. So Darcy Weir with us tomorrow. So yeah. So that's what's going on there. This weekend I'll be up at KNSI. I believe it's this weekend. I'm up at KNSI. Am I up at KNSI this weekend?
Do you do every other weekend there, or do you do...
Every other weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So every other weekend I'm up at KNSI. Am I up at KNSI this weekend? No, it's next weekend. Next weekend I'm up at KNSI. Yeah, it's next weekend I'm up at KNSI.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 29th I'm up at KNSI. And but yeah, you know what? I just want to say, for those of you that tune in and listen to me on KNSI, or you're actually up on Saturday mornings and you say good morning to me on Saturday mornings, thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, that's sweet.
I really do enjoy saying good morning to a lot of you who are up on Saturday mornings and drop me a little note on social media and say hi. It makes my morning. So thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that as well. One or two notes here before we leave you. If you're listening to this show and not watching the show on video, you can do so by going to the Original Darkness Radio on YouTube. By all means, please do that. Or you can watch it by going to darknessradioshow.com and clicking on the show you're looking for. You can watch the video and listen to the audio all in one spot by going to darknessradioshow.com. Also, make sure you update your Darkness Radio apps. The new iOS is out now, iOS 26. So do that. Also, the executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. Thank you, Troy, for everything you do.
Thank you, Troy.
Let's see, what else? I think that'll about do it for today. So for Mallie Fox, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to listen and watch the best in paranormal podcasting. If you liked what you saw or heard today, please give us a rate and review, give us 5 stars, and tell somebody you love about the program, and let them know where we are, and have them like and subscribe as well. And we will see you tomorrow for Darcy Weir right here on the best in paranormal programming. This is Darkness Radio.